Good evening, my name's Roland Knight and I've been a financial advisor since 1981 and the trading name of the company is Infocus Money Management. My office is at Dixon Road, Caboolture, and in your packs there is a bit of a bio of me and plus this talk as well. So I'll actually be referring to a couple of points, a couple of pages in that pack as well, so go for your life. That's to say basically what Dave said. This is not personal advice, so if you want personal advice, come and chat to me individually as well. Have you heard the saying, knowledge is power? Well, tonight is the introduction to that journey, and the gaining of that knowledge is over time. I bring to the table of knowledge my 30 plus years experience as well as my clients' varied experiences, plus experts from different fields that I'm able to draw upon their knowledge and their skills, which is all funneled back to you in a written form, which is your plan, your investment plan, because it is about your outcomes. Now, I'm hoping that there's some sound on this thing.
Yep.
Can you hear it?
There we go, that's good.
That's it.
Are you going to sing? I thought you were going to sing, seriously.
Can't hear it. Can't hear it. Thanks very much. What this is all about is that every investment is a possibility of a great investment, and every investment is a possibility of a terrible investment as well. So really what that was all about was trying to get across the fact that it's an objective. You've got an objective up front, what you're trying to achieve. And that's really where I come into it. It's not about gambling, it is about knowing when to hold that investment and knowing what to keep. That is the objective. Those guidelines that you've written down which says to yourself, hey, this might be the time to buy it or the time to sell. I will actually help you formulate that investment objective and the strategies to use. I'll help you monitor and change that strategy when needed. I'll help you objectively make those decisions as well. And then we'll talk about the subjective decisions, the emotional part of decision making. And you can retain my services for that ongoing contact and support just like a coach. It's important to start off with a life plan. And that life plan is encompassing the strategy as well. So, and that making sure that the strategies suit you. The why, well, to have a goal of simply buying a property is good, but to understand why will help you formulate the rest on this list. The how, as the guys prior to me have said, use cash or borrow it. Well, how do you come to that decision? Part of it is about making sure you do a budget. Sounds like dieting, and who wants to go on a diet, right? But the best way to look at it is simply good cash flow management. The what means which structure will depend on a lot of things like keep the investment away from your ex-spouse, or do you have enough super to start a self-managed... Because I know you. Not only John. You know, sometimes if you've got enough money to start up a self-managed super fund, that is a great way to buy investment properties. It's very, very tax effective. So, or to simply just to protect other investments via a family trust or a company structure. David talked about looking at positively gearing all the time. Well, for me, it's all about making sure that investments not only stand alone, as David said, but also that they are actually kept away from other investments that you have. And so one fails, there's no domino effect going on. The when, well, that's now. Or just before you retire, maybe. Talk to me about the when. The where will determine whether you're positive or negative gearing based on the rental return. That will be discussed and will form part of your investment objective as well. And then as Jeremy said, protect yourself and your estate. You insure the house, then insure your income, plus even consider buying the debt back off the bank on your death. How? Well, that's by using insurances. But did you also know that you can get insurance to pay out if you get cancer or have a heart attack? Talk to me about that. I have an example here, and a couple sought our advice a couple of years ago because his wife was getting concerned about the level of debt they hold. They were saying, we don't seem to be getting anywhere. That is why we need to talk with you. Their only stated goal was that he was on track to buy 10 properties. That was his goal. That was his objective. They saw me just after purchasing the 5th one with a combined value of $2.3 million. Fantastic. The debt secured against these properties was $1.6 million, which is not too much of an issue. It was an approximately 70% loan-to-value ratio, which is good, which meant there was no mortgage insurance. Here comes the kicker. He works full-time, earning just under $40,000. $40,000, you say, and how's he paying back $1.6 million? Here's another bit. His wife doesn't work. So when you're trying to push tax deductions away from yourself, his wife doesn't work. They therefore had a shortfall in cash flow. David talked about cash flow because none of the properties were positively geared. That was something that was not considered as an objective for these guys. They also had a problem with when. The goal was to retire at 60. He was 56. She was 57. He assumed that all the properties would grow in value in 5 years to pay 70% of his debt back, and he'll be able to live off the net rent. So in other words, he'll be able to sell off some of these properties and still have some debt left. The modelling that we did helped them make an informed decision on the next move. That is what I do. I help you make smart decisions about your money. Part of that whole life plan is the strategy. The other part is getting to know your finances. So doing a budget and making sure you're getting the right advice. So check your finances, list all your assets, work out your expenses, and this will lead into doing a budget. You simply need to know where you spend your income so you can give yourself the money to buy the rental property to achieve your objectives. Understand your attitude to risk. It's important to know how much debt will allow you to still sleep at night. $1.6 million, 57 years of age. Set your goals. You need to know where you're going and write it down. Get pre-approval. This will help you decide your purchase budget. I strongly recommend you seeing your mortgage broker because no one can afford to go to multiple banks. It will be bad for your credit rating. As long as you have a stable and reasonably good paying job with solid employment history, you shouldn't have a problem getting a loan. Create a purchase plan. This is your travel itinerary to where and how you're getting there. This is your investment plan. Be informed, get advice, do your due diligence in all different ways. Stay away from property spruikers. Yeah, it's also important to take the emotion out of investing. Stay focused. Investing must have the emotion taken out of it, so you should not love this place that you're buying. It should be just simply great rental return or potential for capital growth. And the last part is to protect your plan and your estate. Life insurance is important so your estate can be debt-free. Remember, banks just simply love selling assets. Get advice about your wills and power of attorney, especially if you want to buy inside a structure, self-managed or super fund or a family trust. In your packs, I've got this page here, what goes into your plan. I'm not going to go into every part of it, but there you go. That gives you a bit of an idea of the process and what goes into what we do. But I'll just go through it. We have a 6-step process because it's important to make sure that you are comfortable, and we take the time to understand your needs, objectives, and preferences before any recommendations. So that's what goes into all that. We will explain the process, find out what your needs are, and make sure we can meet them. This is step 1, agreeing on the scope of advice. We will work with you to identify your short and long-term financial goals. This stage serves as a foundation for developing your plan. And step 3, we'll take a good look at your financial situation, being your assets, liabilities, insurance coverage, investments and super, including any trusts or company structures you have. Step 4 is actually preparing the plan, detailing suitable strategies. We'll then present it to you and answer any questions you have. It's important you understand what you're doing and that you're comfortable before you proceed. Step 5, once you're ready to go ahead, your financial plan will be put into action. Where appropriate, we'll work with specialist professionals such as your accountant, solicitor, mortgage broker, and yes, even your real estate agent. Reviewing is important because your circumstances, lifestyle and financial goals are likely to change over time. So it's important that your financial plan is regularly reviewed, so keep you on track as well. That was fairly quick. My appointment, we are a fixed fee business, so you know how much it will cost before you make any major decisions. And the first appointment is at my cost, so give us a ring, find us on Google, or even find us on Facebook. So make the effort, it'll be worthwhile. Thank you.
Brilliant.